All right, so today we've got an Uchigumori Hato from the Ohira mine, as opposed to Mizukihara. Um, I've had this one for several years, and as you can see, it still has the rough quarry marks still left over in these little corners, but for the most part, the rest of the stone is fully exposed at the surface, where you see a bit of namazu and some of these darker uh, yellowish yaki colors, plus the beautiful blue and purple ringay. This is a fairly soft stone. Uh, like I said, it's a Hato, so this is the softer flavor used first in the sword polishing progression. Today we're going to be messing with the knife I've been using, and I've also got that Kiridashi, which I need to grab real fast. It is all steel Orishigane Kiridashi with Hamon, so it should actually display basically what you're going to get out of this polish on Nihonto. So, yes, so I've got that right here, and technically I should probably do this first because this bevel is basically perfectly flat for the most part, and any deviation in the surface, any divots created even just from rubbing that knife on there, will make it to where it's harder to achieve a decent polish. Especially when it's this soft, it'll create depressions a lot faster than harder stones. So this will give you an idea. I think I've already got an Uchi polish on this, just messing with it on another stone. But this should give a slightly more sandblasted look. We'll see. Now, this did not come from Namikawa. This came from a sword collector and stone collector. Yeah. So this is all steel. So it rubs on the stone differently than the Sanmai with iron cladding would do. But you can see that is basically what you come to expect from Uchigumori. Let me get there. You go. See the brownish tint to the G area, the unhardened portion. That I can rate the level of fineness a lot of times by not just the clarity of the unhardened portions, but also the color. Typically, a lot of browns for Ohira level stones, whether it's the regular Suida or even these Tenjo Suida Uchigumori. But that, I don't know, 5 to 8K range tends to do this. Particularly from Ohira, really. But, yeah. Anyway. Now, also, just note, you can't see the details quite as much in the folded steel because, like I said, this is a softer Uchigumori, the Hato. It doesn't bring out the details nearly as well as the Jito, which is the harder Uchigumori. And this is common for softer stones to show less details but give a very even kasumi, which is basically the point of the Hato anyway, is to give a good, even, clean kasumi, and getting it ready then for the Jito. So to expose a lot of the details. So like I said, like a knife doesn't require as precise lapped surface as a kiradashi or any other woodworking tool, so I should be fine. Not sure what I polished last on here, but okay, something fine, because I can see, well, you can see the reflection. It's pretty close to the color of the steel. It's a little bit on the yellower side, but you'll always have a little bit, except for the very finest stones, like my Nakayama Marukas. The reflection between core and jacket is very, very close to the same. So here we go. Well, there's a little bit of slurry on there. I guess it doesn't matter. You see how quickly the slurry was generated. I got enough water on here, it should push a lot of that off, see? So this stone shreds jacket irons. I mean, this rod on here, it moves on here like butter, but I mean, it does a lot of work. A lot of polishing. But as you can see, the difference between this one, even in the mud, and one of my other Jitos that I posted before, this is primarily mud. It's a little dark from iron particles, but not nearly as much as on a Jito, where it's usually mostly black, or close to that, dark gray. Oh yeah. You can see now the difference in the light source now. You see that on the jacket? See it, that brownish color, and then very bright on the core steel. So yeah, this thing just sheds mud. It's a perfectly soft stone for just practically anything. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of Uchigumori polishes on jacket, on cladded knives, sanmai, just because the level of refinement isn't quite as high as I typically take knives to. It's more like a pre-polisher, but I mean, what is pre-polishing? You know what I mean? Like, why is there a pre-polish? There really isn't. You have that in, I hear it a lot, but you have that in razor honing, a pre-finisher, getting the edge ready, but a pre-polisher, I mean, when I take this down on synthetics, I use a stone that's about the coarseness of this to convert the scratch pattern over to a natural stone scratch pattern. But after that, I take it straight to a finishing stone. I mean, I don't have a need to have a step really in between the synthetics and my finishing stone for refinement in the fineness of the polish. I mean, I could technically just negate that converting stone and just go straight to a finisher after synthetics and be okay. It just takes a little longer. I guess the same can be said with razors as well. You know, you're just saving that finishing stone, but I feel like it's much less necessary in bevel polishing than, you know, technically edge polishing. But that's just me. Anyway, yeah, you can see. So even the light source is dispersed. But, you know, before the light source is even wider, and now it's much smaller. So it's just, there's less reflection. You know, it's picking up less of the you know, ambient light around the light source, and specifically only reflecting back the strongest portion of the light, the very center. But that's Uchigumori. This is a good one. It's a beautiful stone. It polishes well. There's no surprises in it. No grabby, like little crappy little things. No crunchies. Really smooth polish, and I'm glad I have it. Anyways, guys, till next time. Try not to do these things daily because it's getting these out and doing all this. It takes time out of my day, but I do enjoy showing them off, so I'll continue doing it, just not quite as frequently. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Until next time, see ya.